I mean, probably aside from like maybe some IRL questions, I'm mostly everything I'll probably be able to answer.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm also still a little on the fence about IRL
What's your
stuff.
social security number?
Oh, dude.
What's your
Last
mother's
four.
maiden name? Yeah.
Want a picture?
Favorite pet?
Where'd you go to high school,
Oh.
Senjo?
A snake. I like snakes.
What's your password to your bank account?
But now that you know that I like snakes, that's going to be on the security question that you get when you freaking reset the password. So now you know. Oh, shoot.
Well, I do have I'll segue that after the intro. I have a weird thing that we all are into, which I've been finding more and more Tarkov players are into. But welcome to Fear to Burn. Sorry, God, let me start that off wrong again. Welcome to FtBFtL, Fear to Burn and Friends to Learn. A talk show where gamers discuss the tactical genre, including gaming philosophy, concepts, systems, bugs, cheats, content creation, and more. We're your host, FearJBaller and Rectorol. We hope you'll join us on our journeys to understand better and preserve. Well, I screwed that up. We hope you'll join us on our journeys to understand better and improve while preserving our favorite genre. We are graced with a guest today, an energetic ball of fun who makes entertaining gaming content, Senjo 47. Hello, Senjo.
Hi there, guys. I'm Senjo of the 47th flavor. Don't ask what happened to the other 46. They died of ligma. So you know how that goes. But yeah, I'm here hanging out with these two today, and we're gonna have a nice little chat.
A nice little chat. And I know normally we talk about tactical video games, but a game that we all have a special affinity for, and apparently majority of Tarkov content creators do. We all love Sonic the Hedgehog.
That catches me by surprise.
Because I'm pretty sure you and I had a brief discussion about Sonic. And Senjo, obviously you make quite the amount of memes about Sonic. So do I. Not that much.
I just sing the songs, I like, because the songs they're bangers. What can I say? They're absolute bops and a half. And I just start remixing them with like just some dumb stuff I do in Tarkov. Just my most recent short, I remixed, Escape from the City. Just like a few words, but yeah, they just have banging songs.
Okay.
Who's it? I believe it's he was small and I think he's blown up now. I believe it's Nate Wants to Battle. He has like a few YouTube channels. He redid all of Sonic's soundtrack, and he did it as like an edgy 90s like punk boy band, which fits with Sonic. Like it's right on with the 90s cartoon. So, and I think it would be, I don't know where I'm going with that point, but I think it's a great song to meme to Tarkov, especially if you ever get high strength and endurance, because it's really fun to just run past people.
Working on that now.
Oh, that's a whole thing we can talk about real quick before we get into it. How's everybody's Tarkov wipe going?
Something. Shoreline's not fun. Shoreline's not fun at all. But other than that, I mean, I'm having a decent time. Other than like, the memory loss. But is it the memory loss that causes you to stutter randomly? You have to restart your game every like 30 minutes?
Yep.
Yeah, memory leak.
Memory leak. There you go. Jesus. I have memory loss.
My wipe. I wish I could play more, but because I gotta edit everything, all that nonsense. But it's going okay. I had a little L streak, and I didn't get poor. I just lost all my guns, and then the traders got changed. I can't use God's gift, the SKS.
True.
So, well, because I don't have any bullets. So.
Yeah, the PS is locked behind. Scabs always have PS though. So they slap you in the face. And
wait, you can't buy.
And they eat.
You can't buy PS right now for the 7.62?
No.
Oh,
Two trader.
I blew through that real quick then, I guess. I just didn't even notice. I didn't run out of PS ammo from looting scabs. And I don't mean to come off like a Chad. I'm very ratty, but I didn't run. I haven't ran out of ammo yet. I haven't had to buy anything except 9mm for stirrup. Because that was what hung me up again as soon as I hit the PvP, because I'm not a PvPer, and as soon as I hit those tasks, it's just a wall with me in this game, and it's a wall with so many people too in the game that it's just I know we talked about it, and I think it's always a great intro. Senjo, are you in the middle ground between PvP and PvE, or do you lean one way more or the other? Like if you have the option, Tarkov gives you kind of an option. You can aggressively pursue, or you can just kind of like loot and play the game.
So I have a really storied history with how I play. So the first wipe ever, I did not care. I ran at everybody because I think the only way you're going to get better at fighting is if you actually do that. And that's for any game regarding PvP. So I just ran at everybody. I died a lot, and I used the first wipe to get good at PvP basically. So now subsequent wipes, I've just played quote unquote normally. Like I know how to fight when it comes time to fight, but I'm not itching to fight. So I am in the middle, I guess you would say, yeah.
Do you? Oh no, go ahead, Fear.
I mean, I guess you're right. That is the best way to learn. Just gotta die a lot. That's what everybody's like. I have a 2% survival rate, like no money. I'm like, I mean, you gotta you're doing it right though. You know what I mean? Like you're just pushing on dudes. That's it. And then eventually you gotta learn how to make money. Gotta learn the maps. Gotta learn how to get better at the game. Gun skill, mechanics, all the bullshit. Learn how to abuse the game.
Right.
But yeah, I think I'm the same way. I like PvP when it's time to PvP, right? When I have enough money to like PvP, if that makes sense. I don't like PvP when I have 10,000 rubles. I love PvP when I have 50 million rubles. You know what I mean? So
when rubles are irrelevant, it's I got chased down by a level 40 with a red rebel in factory yesterday.
Oh my god!
I'm happy he chased me because he was an easy Tarkov shooter part 3. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was very easy.
That was nice of him.
He's so nice. It was also
nice of him.
Oh, all right. Well, go ahead.
Hold on, just one more. It's funny that you guys mentioned the 50 million rubles. I'm so poor. I've never, not in all of my wipes have I ever gone past probably 9 mil. That's probably my highest. And the only reason I had 9 mil was because I scammed my friend.
Oh, okay.
So he was like, "Hey man, can you help me go get Killa?" This is before Killa was, the real Killa. So he was back when he was dumb.
Okay.
And he just wanted like a bodyguard for mostly PvP, because he was just there to get the Killa kill and turn in the helmet for the quest. And I said, "Sure, man. Can I have whatever's on Killa?" Sure. And then he says, "Yeah, man." And what do you know? What's on Killa? A red key card.
Oh
my god.
I made hella bang.
That's nutty.
4,400 hours.
Gentleman's agreement.
So I still haven't seen one. That is dope as shit though that you found one early on with he held to it too. That's
also unfortunately part of the reason I stopped playing that wipe, because I had too much money. There was no I don't know, maybe I'm just so used to it, but I like being I don't know if I like it because I don't know what it's like to be filthy, have fat stacks yet, but I've always just been on the hunt to get to that ruble count, but I've never actually gone there. So when I actually got there, I just stopped playing. That was my main motivator.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's a hard one in Tarkov to get past. It's not gear fear. It's learning to play the game the way you want. And I think one of the hardest things, I don't know how we can wait on the other questions for a bit, because I don't know how you guys deal with this, but I always find it weird when you have somebody new come into your content stream, like into your stream. Let's say you're not rocking a Chad kit. You're kind of rocking something a bit more. Well, let's say you're doing the Mosin boy because you're on the early task. You ain't got nothing else. You can't chat out like you normally do. I mean, don't get me wrong. That woods raid we did the other day, Fear, was pretty chatty with what we did, but we were very bully. I've never bullied Sturman like that before, but that was it's what we do. I'm curious how you guys handle most other games allow you to not have to deal with progression to play them to create content. Like you kind of do Call of Duty, you kind of have to grind out the attachments, but not really, right? The core gameplay, you could in theory kind of do whatever you wanted for clips almost right away, with the exception of like the grind clips or like the progression clips. It's not too difficult. Whereas with Tarkov, because you're restricted on gear, anything you want to do aesthetically different is, I mean, it's not like Call of Duty was what, 10, 20 hours maybe to grind out a few things if you paid for the game. Tarkov, a few 100 hours each wipe every 6 months to, if you wanted to grind everything anyways. And how do you guys deal with, I mean, I ultimately you don't have it because you can't control it, so it's like not there. But is there any thought process we're putting into making content when we're restricted by the game?
I think it's really good that Tarkov does it like this, because I think I'm just making sure here, like you're kind of just asking, because you always start from the bottom with Tarkov, like is the content repetitive, or what, like exactly what kind of question?
Well, that's kind of
here.
Yeah, well, it's kind of actually a general question. That's the point, because the game is always progression. So unfortunately, if you play the wipe multiple times and start making content for multiple wipes, there's a certain point where you are just remaking your stirrup video, or you're remaking your Tarkov shooter video.
Okay, so now I get what you're saying. No, I think that's great, and not to every content creator, let's be honest, if you could reuse and remake the same thing that you did and have it have equal or better views, or better analytics, then yeah, you would. And I think that's what makes Tarkov good, is because your stirrup you did 6 months ago is not going to be the same stirrup you do right now. I haven't even started my stirrup yet because, well, not because of any particular reason, but just because I just haven't gotten to it yet. But I know it's not going to be the same. Maybe I'll own them. Who knows? That's not going to get uploaded because that's kind of boring. I like to tell a story. I like there to be a little bit of some grief, some drama, and maybe I do own them and it doesn't get turned into a video, but maybe I get owned. It starts getting a little dramatic. Tears come out. Oh, and then I get the last kill. Oh my God. Oh, and then that's kind of how I approach like every single quest, is because also a lot of these quests are kind of quote unquote iconic because they are difficult. So people relate to like even the most basic quests, like the flash drives. You can make a video out of the flash drive quest. It's like, because it's hard.
Yeah,
it's also luck. But
that actually is true. There's out of a lot of other games, like let's say you make a Call of Duty clip versus you make like it's like you do something Call of Duty, you get a kill. That is so common that it's over. It's over. What am I trying to say? It's overly relatable. It's too much. But when you do find a flash drive, it's like, damn, I've been looking for that for a week. Especially if you're not gaming every day. You know what I mean? You got a job, you got kids, you come and you play a couple hours. And some of my best clips have been me of just finding random stuff. It's like, and it makes sense you say that, because it's like, yeah, people are being like, damn, I know that feeling that he just had. It felt so good. You probably died 9 times in a row. You put it in your butt and you ran and you got there. And it's like, it's so different than just getting 5 kills in Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Sometimes kills aren't even involved. It's just getting out alive with your dignity. I guess at the end of the day for this, it's extremely relatable and extremely rewarding. I think that's what people kind of gravitate to.
Yeah, I can get a sense of that. I guess where I always struggle with it from my angle, and where I look at when I'm doing and remaking the content, and you're going, okay, I can tell a story with it, like Senjo's doing. I can retell the story, but you're painting on the same canvas, and it can get. I know it's different, and this is, I think, what's made Tarkov a beautiful game for me. It's one of the few. I describe it as a sandbox game because every time I play it, it's different. Which thankfully, every time that we wipe, it's also different. And there's that relatableness that you're talking about, but it's still not. I guess I personally always find there's something. There's a uniqueness that I find I would rather see personalized story, like the personalized tasks that we're seeing potentially coming. If we didn't have wipes, let's look at that from a Tarkov content perspective. Let's say, well, like you were saying, Call of Duty. This is every other game. We maybe go 2 years without a wipe. right? If we're in a different genre of game that's kind of like Tarkov, it's super serious. You know, Stalker is a great example. There's people that put out banger Stalker videos, despite that game being, what are we going on, 12 years old now? I think, what, 2008, 2009?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. You know, they're doing the same things they were doing 12 years ago, but the systems are much better. But it's harder to cue people in my opinion, to those the intricacies of it, because people want the like quick gratification. This is the problem TikTok and shorts have done, is that people want that like quick gratification. They're like, I need to understand everything right away. And so when I'm doing Stirrup, I can use Stirrup. And for anybody listening that doesn't understand Tarkov, Stirrup is a quest in Tarkov where you got to kill 3 people with a pistol. I can do Stirrup. I can grind it out. I can meme it in some way. It's going to be a different meme. It's going to be the same meme, but it's not. And I get where you're going. I need to regather my thought. I lost myself there.
You're good, man.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
Yeah. My original point that I'm trying to get to is when we're looking at a blank canvas to paint on and provide relatability, you also have to provide context. And the context of what wipe did this happen in. And I guess this is where I'm looking at. Let's say I have 3 Stirrup videos that blow up. And they're my top 3 videos. Now I have 3 videos that are effectively the same, but they're 6 months apart. And it can be kind of cool, because then you can make the video where you combine them all together. And that's a really cool concept. But and this is getting to a main question I had. I always have trouble recycling content. And that's where this is my main point's kind of getting to. I don't understand how to recycle content, and I get really irritated every time I try to edit it. I know, Fear, you're more a streamer, not an editor, but
What do you mean recycle content?
So let's say you do a stream and you want to cut it up and reuse it.
Okay.
Because you're like,
repurpose, you mean?
Repurpose. Well, I use the word recycle because you're technically like cutting it up and then putting it back together in some way.
Because in my head, a recycle is I'm literally uploading the same video uploaded a month ago. Like, yeah.
I mean,
that's a true recycle, but yeah, you're going to repurpose it for a new medium, right? In a way that medium understands it. Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Yeah, and I've always been weird to do that. No, I've never done it yet, and I've done it a couple times because I have the 2 channels. And I know, Senjo, you do long form and shorts. I don't think you ever do. Are your shorts part of your long forms for the most part, or are they completely separate?
Absolutely. No, they are the exact same, just cut up into a short.
Okay.
Because so basically, you know, is it really a question, or like it's just your problem, right? Like that you don't like recycling them, right?
Well,
recycling the content.
Well, yeah, it was more getting at how do you guys handle recycle? So when you're cutting and editing, is you getting any enjoyment out of that from the editing process? I have fun in editing. I guess that's probably where I'm coming at it from. But
well, for me, it's like I do it all by myself, so like I have to be very efficient. It's fun the first time, like the first edit, but then obviously I just chop off like a few seconds there, a few minutes there, and then I turn it into a short as much as I can, and then I think it's fine. I don't need to get enjoyment from in my opinion, I don't need to get enjoyment from recycling it. I just need it to get eyes on it, because no matter what, I like the product. I like the end product, whether it be the short or the long form. I just, shorts have more exposure, so it has to be done.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It has to be done for me. It's not like I'm so excited to do it. So some of the content, some of the pre-made videos I make, like the one with the lo-fi music and stuff, that's fun. That's like everything coming together. But when it comes to like making a short, the more I have more enjoyment playing the game and getting everything recorded and performing well and doing well, and then the editing is just showing up to work kind of thing.
Same. I if I could stream for 8 hours and give the editing to somebody else, I would. Obviously can't, but that's exactly how I would be.
Yeah.
Funny, because I reached the exact opposite conclusion. Streaming is I'd rather stream less and edit more. And
honestly, there's
so
nothing
funny.
wrong with that though at all.
Yeah.
I always bring this guy up, man, and his name is Covert Go Blue. He's a Magic the Gathering streamer and YouTuber, really, and he streams like 3 days a week on Twitch, but he uploads every single day on YouTube. And most of his videos that he makes are when he's streaming those 3 days, and the rest is just editing. You know what I mean? And of course, just playing Magic the Gathering, so the content is way easier. But he enjoys just editing, and he makes so much more money doing that. You know what I mean? He doesn't really interact. Like if you watch a stream, he talks. The first 20 minutes, he'll like interact with the chat, and then for the next 4 hours, he's like, "I hope you know, I won't be answering many questions. I'm going to be recording for YouTube," and that's like his system. You know what I mean? And it just works out really well for him. And when I think of him, I think of like you doing that same kind of idea. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and that's something I tried for a little bit. I just went a little bit too hammy with the streaming.
Yeah, like legit, like 3 days a week, 3 hours a day. It's part of the cog in the YouTube machine. It's not a Twitch machine. So once you look at it like that, it becomes showing up to work is just streaming for 3 hours and then having fun the rest of the week is editing videos.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious because you bring that up with promoting yourself. So with Senjo, like when we're looking at TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, right? I know Fear. I don't know if you have a TikTok. I know Senjo. I think you have a TikTok. I think I've seen it. Yeah. I rarely go on my TikTok anymore. It's like I kind of just stopped.
Fair. That's fair.
But Fear, do you have a TikTok or do you manage one at all?
I do. I always forget to upload there. It just doesn't work well for me, so I don't upload often.
Have you guys ever done? Have either of you ever done Twitch, or just YouTube streaming, like Twitch?
Yeah. I was a Twitch affiliate for a while.
Senjo, have you done Twitch yet or no?
I've been doing this content stuff for like this is not my first channel. I should get that clear. I've had like 2 or 3 other channels before this, and I did stream on Twitch when Fortnite popped up. And like this kind of leans a little bit back towards the previous discussion, but I used to just stream, which is horrible.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
No, you're right. That's a fact.
Yeah. Of course, I would try to. I wouldn't stream even that like 8 hours either. I would just stream like however long I wanted to, and then obviously I would edit, but not as ham as I do these days with whatever I do on Twitch, whatever I did on Twitch.
Right.
And Twitch is fine. Like I guess if what you're asking, like how the experience was.
Well, it was more what I was going to ask. That was kind of the point, was just kind of talk about why we chose, because it was an active decision for me to leave Twitch and stay and like stream on YouTube. I'm curious, like how much thought have you given? Because you have to start somewhere, right? You have to start streaming on one of them. You can't be like, I have done 8,000 hours of research and have perfected that Twitch is the right streaming, and now I'm going to start streaming on Twitch before I've done any. It's like, you have to stream on it and get used to it and understand it before you can have really an opinion on it.
Okay, and now I have the story. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I just wanted to see where you guys were with it in relation before I went deep into the question. But how do we? I can start, but I'd rather you guys start with like what. We can start with you, Senjo. What made you try? Yeah. What made you decide YouTube streaming and YouTube content creation over, for example, Twitch? Even posting on Twitter or Reddit to boost your Twitch as opposed to just going straight YouTube.
Okay, so yeah, that's where I thought we were gonna lean to. So yeah, streamed on Twitch for a little bit, Fortnite, Apex, and a little bit of Valorant, and then the reason Twitch just sucks is that like, I mean, your YouTube stream doesn't necessarily get promoted as hard either, but it still gets promoted some. Twitch just has no, promotion for the little guy. All your promotion gets done off the platform, which, is pretty dumb. I mean, I don't disagree. I don't disagree with the people that say, Twitch is a better streaming platform. I still think it slightly is, but at the end of the day, I think keeping everything on YouTube per se, not, I post on TikTok obviously, but I think keeping everything condensed is just better. And that's why I chose to stream on YouTube once I realized that YouTube streaming is pretty good. Like they give the encoder to people that aren't affiliates, which is great. You know, that's the worst part about streaming without being affiliate. Which I have a story about affiliate.
Oh no, go ahead. Yeah, no, go ham on it.
You don't have the encoder when you're not an affiliate, for people who don't know. So whatever you choose to stream at, whether that be 1080, 720, or anything higher or less than that, you're stuck at, which can alienate viewers that don't have the internet to process, let's say 1080. Because a lot of people don't have, like, I don't want to say that because I don't really know, but I feel like a lot of people can't really handle 1080p.
I feel like that too, especially people from different countries. I've noticed too, because you get people from like Europe and stuff, and they're on their phone and they're on the go. You know what I mean? And they're using Wi-Fi somewhere, like a train, or they're just with their parents at a restaurant. And yeah, no, they can't watch the stream at all because you're streaming at 1080p and their phone's watching in like 480 because that's what the Wi-Fi is giving them. You know what I mean? And so you're just scuffed at that point from their perspective, you know?
So now to lead on to my affiliate story, I ended up getting affiliate, and I realized, the encoder is nice, but you get ads, and the problem is no one's gonna watch a jabroni, and everyone is a jabroni at that phase, unless you are somehow an affiliate with like I don't know, I guess like 5K, 10K followers already, but at the rate you get affiliate, which I think it's some follower, like 100 or 50 or 100 followers required, 3 viewer, average stream has 3 viewers, blah blah blah. You're still so small that having ads on your stream is not going to help you. People are going to unclick.
Oh yeah, when I was on Twitch, as soon as I ran an ad, it's like, you need to run an ad, contractual obligation. I'm like, all right, run the ad. Then it runs and it's like immediately 0 viewers. And you're like, oh, there goes 5 all the way down to 0. Okay.
I leave landmark stream if I see an ad. You know what I mean? So
I do it. And I mean, I brought it up on our last podcast, but there's a saying I learned. It's just the viewer is looking for the first reason to look away. And this is kind of where, for Twitch, I liked the interaction with the user a lot more, but I also I hate and like making content where you're connecting with the community, because it's not like, it's great stream content, but it's really bad like a YouTube video content, unless you're that person that's really good at interacting with their chat. Like Ludwig, someone like that.
Yeah,
like those people are really good at interacting with their chat, Asmongold, etc. Like I can't handle 8 conversations with 8 people in the chat at the same time, and keep my single conversation point that I'm trying to make going. I struggle with that heavily when I was streaming, because I'm like, I just want to connect with her. Yeah, I just want to talk to the people. I'm here hanging out right now. Why would I not want to hang out with the people in the chat and talk to them?
Yeah.
And this is something I've talked to Senjo about kind of privately a little bit, but this is something I've done for both of you. I guess there's 2 parts to this question. I'll start with the first part, but when you're interacting with a chat viewer, like what is your expectation from a chat viewer? We can keep it open with that.
What do you mean?
So when you have somebody come into your stream and they were to chat with you, do you have any expectation? Do you have any, I want to say, like what are your standards? That might be a better way to put it. Like, what is your line for, like, I'm not going to interact with this, or I'm just going to delete it, or I want to, like, do you ever look at a chat and go, I'm going to stop what I'm doing on stream to interact with this because I find this chat to be a more enjoyable thing to do than the game I'm playing? Like, have you guys ever had that moment happen?
So when I was streaming COD, yes, because as much as I hated it, I wish it was better, but DMZ kind of sucked.
It gets boring.
but
it's boring.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I was playing DMZ, and then I had the same dilemma as you. Like, it's just not good for editing. Like, it's not good for making into a video.
Yeah.
And that's why I like Tark, obviously, because the quests provide you a baseline for a story, blah, blah, blah. We already talked about this, but going back to the whole viewer interaction, I'd say I'm pretty lenient. Like, they could troll me. I don't really care. Like I genuinely just like don't care if they want to be like really teasing towards me or like I wouldn't say the conversation takes priority over the game at all. I just want to acknowledge it real quick and then keep playing. But I don't want them to feel like I'm not responding to them. I do want to speak and at least say something very quickly, but I don't want to have a whole long-winded conversation. I just want them to more react to whatever I'm doing.
It's so hard. I have such a trouble when I jump into other people's streams because I hate chatting as a YouTuber in other people's streams because it's like I don't want to take away, but then it's
you gotta be killed before.
Yes,
I should know that.
I know. I have fear.
Well,
you know what's
good for a video? No, that's good for a video. Actually, I like that.
It's good for a video. It's when I was on Twitch, it was the thing. As soon as I put bits on, where I was like, "Yeah, you guys can play like noises, like grenade sounds and stuff." It was just everybody just blowing point limits, and I'm like, "Oh, okay. I don't think I can do this and play Tarkov." I understand there's some people who can, but this is this will turn into a lot of me dying. And I don't want to just make death videos of Tarkov. I can already make a handful of those a day if I play.
I don't know. I think I'm the same. I prioritize the game over chatting, but I answer the question when I see it, kind of thing. You know what I mean? I'm always looking to the left. I'm always looking at the monitor. But I'm never gonna like VoIP. Hey, give me 2 seconds. I need to answer a question, kind of deal. You know what I mean? I'm gonna die if I die because I'm talking to somebody. That's why I'm streaming. I'm not gonna get upset about it.
True.
I've utilize that as an opportunity to make a video. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, you move on.
I've very rarely brought my chat into the conversation of when I'm playing a game with the. I generally dislike that. I never even thought about that as a question, but I generally dislike referencing the fact that I'm streaming and chat exists when I'm playing a game to the people playing the game, because it's not. Like, I feel like all it does is take away. Because most people, I know we're on a podcast right now and it's a small podcast and it's growing, but most people, is the moment you're like, hey, there's a small audience watching me, they immediately think it's a soapbox for them to just start like, oh, let me, in case your audience doesn't know, let me tell them, like, no, just trust me. You don't understand how any of this works. I love you for trying, but you don't, and
You have let people know in VoIP that you're streaming? I've never done that.
Yeah,
I've never done that.
So not in Tarkov. So we're talking more like games like Squad, Arma, stuff like that. Like where I'm going to be playing with people like for a long time and they're closer friends of mine. So I just kind of let them know, hey, like I'm streaming and recording. So that way don't say anything. Like they can say whatever they want. I don't care. It's just more, I feel it's courtesy to let people know they're being recorded.
Oh, in that case, okay.
Yeah.
That's what you mean. Yeah, okay. I thought you meant like a random person.
No. I don't walk up to random people unless I've only gotten the "Are you a streamer?" question. No.
I was like, are you like randomly going up to scabs and I'm like, hey, we're streaming. You want to say some stuff? I got candy. Huh?
Oh, that's a great content. I mean, I'll be pushing on Endra's cringy territory lately, but yeah. Oh gosh,
so cringy.
It's great, but it's just. Oh, speaking of recycled content, the reason I brought it up was because she started recycling some of hers, which I don't have a problem with. If you're not an editor, sometimes you just gotta, if it's contextually relevant, screw it, re-upload it. Like, do you get your bag in the way you gotta get it? I don't care. But I found it funny.
So you just reacted with cringe, or like, I don't know, you just like, you said like cringy, like, so now I have a question, because I've never had content creator friends. Well, anyone that is also involved in content creation. You guys don't, I mean, like, not embrace the cringe, but I found that, I mean, screw it. If someone's gonna call me cringe, they're gonna call me cringe. I'm just gonna be myself. Like, so I like to say I embrace the cringe, but I'm not intentionally being cringy. But if someone finds it cringy, I mean, I can't control that, right? So like do you actively try to not be quote unquote cringe, or?
I don't when I'm memeing. When I'm memeing, I don't care if it's cringe or not. I don't care if 5 people understand it and 90 people hate it and want to see me buried at somewhere undisclosed. I'm gonna make it because I think it's sometimes like the cringe part is the funny part. Like it's cringy, but then like you think about it for half a second and it's funny. Like one of the things I've been spending a lot of time with family with the holidays recently. And yesterday we put on about 17 different versions of Apple Bottom Jeans that were re-rendered by AI. So they're like sung by Randy Newman, Elvis Presley, stuff like that.
What the heck?
Oh yeah. It's great. So I don't know. I don't have a problem with oh god. So like it's kind of cringe. If I were to use those and use them in a certain way, it's I don't know, it could be cringe. And like, so my sister-in-law the entire time is sitting there cringing at these songs because it's people ruining artists and it's technically Apple Bottom Jeans on top of other like music imposed. So she's hearing other songs, but hearing Apple Bottom Jeans, and it's driving her insane, which just makes me and my brother love it more. I look at that from a content creator standpoint and go, I don't care how cringy this is, it works. It doesn't matter that it's cringy to one person because two people are laughing their ass off in this room. And that's the whole point of memes. That just one person has to laugh. So I embrace the cringe. Fear, since you're less, Fear is not as memey as you and I, Senjo. He is he's a gamer without the extra A's.
Hey, I'm a gamer too. I just don't show it.
I believe you. No one's judging you. The judge free's dead. No, yeah, I don't know. I'm not into memes.
We all play our own part.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I found what I like to do when it works for me, but I enjoy watching other stuff that makes me laugh. You know what I mean? I feel like if the meme is going to be anything, it's going to be at my own misery. That's where it comes from.
That's always a hard one to edit. Is you fouling a lot or a really irritable moment, because I get really pissed off editing if it's. So we all, going back to Tarkov, we've all played hardcore shooters that sometimes overbalance their AI. I can think of very few games outside of Insurgency and, well, Escape from Tarkov that effectively have overbalanced their bots to the point of aimbot for everybody.
It was nerfed.
Yeah, thankfully. I had. Oh, go ahead.
Regular AI is not what I'm worried about. I can't. If I run into Big Pipe and the dogs, I can't win. That's it. No, you L. That's an L on your forehead.
They cut you open with a hot spoon and your butter. Like, dude.
Well, what's funny is
I got killed by them on customs and day 2 M61 to the chest.
Actually, same. He caught me drinking orange juice, bird eye. Dude, apple juice.
Yeah, it was fucking night, dude. I walked right out of water, going to with literally like 10 minutes left. I was just going to extract. I was like, this is a really quiet raid. We fought like a 3-man. 2 of us made it out, and we were at Big Red, go all the way, stop in water, drink up, we go out. I'm like, he's like, do you hear something? I'm like, nah, it's been really quiet. He goes, okay. I go out first. I see just up head pop out from like the little sand dunes, and I'm like, oh my god. I run away. Instantly, my chest is black. Instantly. And he's like, enemy down. I'm like, fucking, I know what that is, man. And they got new voice lines too, so they sound different. They let me walk straight into Stronghold, and for whatever reason, Bird Eye doesn't make any goddamn steps. And then I went into, I call it break room, where the little green box and there's some cots. It's not the medical crate room on the bottom floor of Stronghold. Oh, the one with the bunk beds? Yeah, it has the bunk beds that you can stand on. Yeah, or the other one with the poster.
I usually call it the sleeping room, but
there we go. Also, anyways. Looking for some drink, guys thirsty. I had one too many painkillers. My bad. I saw a nice little apple juice, and bro,
my bad,
slides on in on me. Now, granted, he didn't power slide instant kill me. He took a few seconds to shoot. So if I didn't have my goddamn apple juice out, I think I would have been filthy for the wipe. But he caught me with the apple juice. What can I say?
They are. The only time I've ran into them where I was able to see them while fighting them, I murdered them on my scav. And they lost me rep, and I read so hard. I think I wasn't live, but I did read a report to BSG. I'm like, why am I losing rep for killing rogue bosses? What?
Wait, really?
Yeah, I lost 1.7. I went from I was at 8.67 or 8.62 karma, and I went down to 5.95 when I killed them
at the time, right?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
they told me it was a bug in report, but I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm not getting the rep back though. I assume so. I didn't find them that hard. I hope they got fixed, because they do the stupid conga line bull crap where they're like, well, one of them died because I domed one of them with the static 50 cals, and then the other two ham rushed me, and I just sat, did a corner hold, and they just walked right into me. So I really hope those got fixed. I do want them to be more dangerous, except when they're on woods. I have never been able to kill them or see them on woods. Bird Eye kills me every time.
They're tough.
Yeah.
They're so tough, dude. I think I was at Med one time and I heard like silent shots. I was like, that's weird. So I run from Med, run down the hill, up the hill. Then I'm running over to Scav Bunker, and I hear enemy sighted. I'm like, this sucks. So I run away, run all the way.
Oh.
Yeah, I had time to run. I got lucky. Bird Eyes blacked out both my legs. I'm running, dude. Big Pipe chased me. He chased me from Scav Bunker all the way back to fucking Med, dude, and just shit on me. And I'm like, dude, this is unbelievable. Wild like Knights behind him and Bird Eye still just popping off shots. I'm like, this is insane.
No, yeah, because sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, if you're a 5-man, it'd be cool to fight, I think. But I have yet to find a competent. I don't want to say a competent 5-man. It's hard to put a 5-man of people that can actually play more than 2 raids together in Tarkov, because most people that are competent are also adults or have things to do in their lives, which is hopeful. By the way, please have things to do in your life.
See, I hate playing with more than 2 people. I despise Tarkov. Despise is too strong, but I just cannot play with 3 is like my limit. If I play 4 or 5, I just admit that we're just having fun and I don't care. But which is fine. That's fine too. But I like to get stuff done because, again, I'm a slower player. I never usually see the 50s. I think the highest I got was like 40. So I want to get at least a quest done or like make some small form of progression. And when I play with 5 or 4, that is not going to happen, because then they die. I got to hide your stuff, maybe take it out for you. And I get a little irritated. So I like to play either by myself or with a duo at most.
Duo is probably the best way to play Tarkov in terms of efficiency.
I agree.
By far. I will say 5-man though, if this is where the tricky part comes in, and this is why I don't like doing it. I de facto become the leader a lot in 5 and 4-mans and 3-mans, and which is fun, but it drains the voice. And it also, like, I can't fight and tell 4 other people what to do at the same time. So that's why I need them to be like, if we were doing 4-man on Woods, Fear, myself, and I brought my chat along, and the guy that was with you, I think he was probably like 2K hours if I had to guess, maybe like 1K.
What was his name?
Tony, I think. Turney.
Yeah, Turney.
Probably like 1 to 2K.
Turney Montaigne.
He knew what he was doing.
Right. Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, just not some
games after work.
Yep, but somebody that's very much I would view like he was loot focused and like where you are, Senjo. And I'm not knocking it. It's actually, I love that Tarkov has, I will say, a skew of people, like a rainbow of people playing it.
Multiple play styles.
Yes, because it creates this like friction when you meet in raid where you rub against each other. And then when we talk online, it creates this friction because I love grouping if you can get a competent group and if you can get people that I think if they have over 2K hours, which is a lot to ask. I understand that. And I would say potentially if they've already gotten and hopefully deleted Kappa. That
That's asking a lot, man.
It's asking a lot.
I don't know the percentages, but I don't think a lot of people get Kappa.
Delete Kappa.
And then delete Kappa.
Get it.
Yeah,
I watched Clean do that.
Not many of us have gotten and deleted Kappa. No, it's not. I found that out the hard way when I did it. Most people do not understand.
I wish I did it in, I forget what wipe I first started. It was either 0.11 or the very beginning of 0.12, but I wish I did it then because it was a lot easier. Now they added so many quests and it's just hard to get to. That's all.
I got it done the wipe before they added capturing outposts, which is for Kappa requirement. It's the one where I gave up. I'm like, I'm not doing Kappa again while this is a task and the wipes are a thing.
Yeah.
The whole point though, everybody's not supposed to get Kappa, and you're not really you don't need to progress to Kappa. You need to get level 42 for max traders and pretty much access to everything. Yeah.
That's it. Level 42 is kind of like end game.
Yeah. And then level 47 if you care about drip.
But and at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you.
On that point, like, see, you guys say like 42 is like, a good goal, but like, people create their own goal in this game, which is what I do, which is why 100%. I never really have gone to 42. I usually just kind of fizzle out around 40, but that's not because the game's like boring or anything. I actually could do a lot more, and there's a lot more to do. I just, what I probably complete whatever goal I like doing. One of my favorite quests that I always will do, and I really feel satisfied and completed is LEDX hunting for the thick case. And I just because I like shoreline fighting or something, like it's like this weird like goal I've given myself is like I always get the thick case.
What the
minimum.
Yeah.
Wait, you like shoreline fighting? Hold on, no, Fear. He said he likes shoreline fighting. We're gonna dig into this.
Hey man, some people like nipple clamps. I'm not here to judge.
I am. We're here to judge a little bit. When it comes to fighting on shoreline, I think there's a little bit of judgment we can do.
So let me be clear.
Yeah.
Haven't played with the new audio just yet on Shoreline, but the reason why I like Shoreline is because it goes two ways with old Shoreline. Most of the time, you're not going to hear them, so you have to use your eyes. And I come from 2009 Modern Warfare 2 Call of Duty. I did not have a headset. Everyone was using Ninja Pro.
Right.
So I had to just know where everyone was before I actually rounded the corner, because I could not hear them either way. So
more intuitive for you.
Yeah. So Shoreline plays like that because everything's so close. You're
Oh, you're going.
Rooms.
Okay, so you're going off like visual clearing on Shoreline then.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I like to think I have decent reaction time. So even if I'm doing a little quick peek, I'm not giving them enough time to really plop my head off. So and then obviously I hadn't said this yet, but I like close quarters. I despise sniping every single game, by the way. Every game that has sniping, I don't snipe. Only time I sniped was when I was quick scoping because that's close range sniping.
Right.
But so that's why I like Shoreline, is because all the PvP is in Resort. I don't love that Resort has bad audio, but I love fighting there. So
that's what I was gonna ask, and you can always lie about this. I don't think you would, but I don't really know how I would phrase that in there. I'm sorry. So Shoreline Resort, the reason I hate it is because I went in and did a lot of testing probably in 12.10, 12.11 back with old Steam audio. And if you get above about 20 perception, the skill level, and you put Comtac 2s or Comtac 4s on, there are a couple places you can sit in Resort. You will hear everybody. If they even come remotely within that fence, you hear the entire compound. And that's why, like, have you ever been like sitting there and you're looting, and then all of a sudden somebody just like comes, spams, runs in the room and murders you? It's because they were sitting in a room that you can hear everything, and they heard you move to a room, stop loot, and then they sprinted over to you. And it is one of my downfalls with Shoreline. I love Shoreline as a map, and I think it'd be a lot cooler if they added it to Lighthouse. If those two maps were combined, I'd play on it a lot more. I hate the Resort.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, imagine if they were combined.
Now, let me make something clear here. Shoreline, in my opinion, Shoreline as a map is not to use aggressive wording here, is garbage because
not a
the map is only resort. Like, I mean, like, okay, yeah, there's a little village, there's a sunken village, there's pier, but like the rest of it is just it's just like you're playing woods, and
woods.
with a little death valley where there's no woods. You guys know what I'm talking about, right before the arch.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I don't like Shoreline as a map, but I just like resort.
Okay.
So
my main duo and I, when Sanitar came out, we hard went on Shoreline. We did 1 month of raids straight, and we were on average probably playing about 10 to 12 raids a night. Sometimes more, sometimes upwards of 20, but I hate Shoreline specifically because I was doing safe runs for Living High is Not a Crime. I hit the safes over 300 times.
Wow.
And I didn't get a single vase on Shoreline. And because we were also learning to hunt Sanitar. We're like, well, it's a new boss.
Okay.
Let's learn them. So I'm like, well, I also need vases, so I have all the keys. So let's just hit all the safes while we're clearing and learning Sanitar. Which the way I learned to fight him is really easy. Just never fight him at resort unless you have a 5-man or you're really, really decked out.
Really? You think, dude, at resort he's kind of easy.
He used to be
I'm
super
resort gremlin.
Yeah, he used to be like super. He's fine if he's in like by the ambulance, like if he's in the open area, he's fine. And if he's in the building past the ambulance, I'm trying to think if it's East Wing or West Wing, whatever the one Sanitar's room is in. If he's around that, if he's around his room, he's easy. It's when he spawns in the opposite wing or he spawns in the auditorium. I can never get him out of the auditorium when he spawns in there. Like, even with grenades, they'll just run around the chairs, avoid their grenades, and you have to push in. And it's 3 full auto guns hitting somebody as soon as you walk in through a door. I don't know if you ever fought him in the auditorium. That's why I hate fighting him at resort.
I fought him everywhere in resort, and I think it's fine. I think the hardest place to fight him on Shoreline is probably pier.
Because of fighting him or because of the players? So,
that is kind of hard. No, yeah. I'm just thinking.
You fight him at pier, you're probably not getting out. That's probably why. Yeah. I don't because what I like is in my head I've ranked the AI by difficulty, and I kind of like Rashala's probably no. Sturman's probably the easiest AI, IMO.
What?
Personal opinion. Yeah. I know. Shocker.
Not Tagilla. Sturman.
Hey, easiest.
Holy
easiest.
Shit. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So and then Sanitar's next, from easiest to hardest. Sturman, Sanitar, Drashala, Tagilla, Killa, Gluhar, and then I guess if you want to count the rogue bosses on that list, then then the rogue bosses at the top. That's how I rank them personally.
Why?
Because every time I've run into Sturman, he is so easy to kill. Because I don't know why, but I think it benefits my playstyle. Like, I always get right in their face. Like, I do scout a little, but I think scouting helps them. Okay. Like, the longer you sit there scouting for them, the longer or the faster they're going to lock onto you. So I just keep moving and I just get straight into the white building on Sawmill, and I just start looking around from that point. And then because I'm already so close, I can kind of snake my way, on the logs, maybe on the little hollow red thing building, and then it just becomes kind of easy.
Okay, that's fair.
So out of curiosity with Sturman, when you learned him, did you learn him pre-expansion or post-expansion woods?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. Well, it's also because, maybe I'm wrong on this, but isn't his AI alongside with Sanitar's kind of on the weaker end?
Oh yeah, no, like, he's stupid easy. You just have to not. It's basically he's gonna miss the first shot almost always on you. So as long as you see him turning towards you, pull your shot and then move away. He's pretty easy to fight. He just takes time. It's the issue I have with Sturman is I don't want to say, it's not a better word for this, but effectively PTSD trauma from pre-expansion woods. and just having to fight 7 player snipers at the same time as fighting Sturman, because everybody you had to go through the mill. Like there's no other way to get through that map really. So if Sturman's up, you're fighting him, and you're fighting all the other snipers.
But wouldn't you say people still just all go to mill regardless still?
I
feel like it's like that.
I hunt a lot of people on woods. Woods was my main map for a little bit, and most people hang out in the middle or the backside. They try to sneak around. They try to do barrel runs. Most people only grab like maybe 100K worth of stuff off woods and then leave. It's so weird to me because you can easily make like $1 million per run on there.
Oh, trust me, I know.
Yeah. So beauty. It's such a beautiful map. And this, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just think my perception is probably skewed because I do things late. I'm always late, like when it comes to wipe progression, quote unquote late. So by the time I'm doing my Sturman quests, people are already sort of hunting for PvP. And if you want PvP, you're going to go to mill. You'll at least see one person. There's no way you don't see at least one, whether he be a Chad or a jabroni going through mill. So I feel like that's why.
No, I agree with you. There's always going to be at least one person to fight down there. Woods, especially late wipe, though, it's hard, especially ever since I added in that expansion area with all that loot back there. It's so juicy, but it's people, it's so hard to chase them down in the trees without high endurance and high strength right now. I'm trying to. I like hunting people. I don't want to kill them. I just want to like follow them and scare the shit out of them. And I did it to a couple people on basically the same session. FearJBaller and I did this when we were streaming the other day. We popped oldies and we ran into USEC camp and just terrorized a guy.
That's fun.
And I did it solo too, and it's fun. But I let that one go.
What is all these?
Old bosses.
Oh, okay.
Old bosses.
Yeah.
Odobolos.
The question I was going to segue into though, because you brought up playing Modern Warfare 2 is that like your like big get into with, we'll say, PC gaming?
Oh, you meant PC? You thought I meant PC? I meant console.
Oh, okay. Well,
PlayStation 4, baby.
2009.
Oh, wait, Xbox 360.
Xbox
dude.
360. Yes,
Man,
exactly.
dude.
There we go.
Watch your mouth.
That was the better console back then. I'm just saying.
Watch your mouth.
Maybe someone's gonna get mad. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I went through 3 Xbox 360s trying to fix Red Ring of Death. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was all about the Xbox. So.
Oh, great story about that. I freaking just left mine open. I opened the shell and I learned how to just work the 360 without a freaking shell, and
nice.
I just fixed it. I just fixed my Red Ring of Death myself.
Yeah, I mean, back then, dude, I think I just liked the controller. All my friends were on Xbox Live. It was just where like the party was, you know?
Oh yeah, it was the same with me. All my cousins and friends and everything. It was just, and my brother, we all played Xbox because it.
You know?
Well, it was hard with a PC back then because, like, I grew up with a family, so I don't want to say that in a weird way, but I grew up with a family, so we have one computer, and it's not a gaming computer. I'm gonna flex my family, yeah.
My dad is still looking for milk, so. He said he'll be back.
We only had one computer, and it couldn't run very many games, so we were stuck to consoles, which most people were, and I don't know. There was something about, I enjoyed, I would say, more PlayStation 2 games than I did Xbox games.
Mm.
Oh,
but
here.
I probably played more Xbox. But if I have to sit down and think about games, I associate more with, like, I really enjoyed the design. I enjoy the game. I would play something like that again. It's PlayStation. Very few titles on Xbox. You know, there's
favorite PlayStation 2 game. Gun to your head. Go. 5, 4, 3.
Sly Cooper.
2. Sly Cooper. Okay.
Jack series.
Jack and Daxter?
Yeah.
Oh shit, dude, those guys were fire though.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Final Fantasy for me.
Which one? Okay. That's
7, 8, 10.
Okay. Of course.
Why?
10 is my favorite. 10 is my favorite.
I should make things clear here. I'm a little younger. I'm only like for context, which is what which leans to the console, you know, because you thought I was on PC. I'm only like 25, so that was basically my childhood. Is playing, yeah.
So Fear and I are both the same age. We're young 30s, and so this is a fun question I had planned to, which is, as games get more complicated, and this is, how do you approach the experience for skill gap? So you have, obviously youth on your side, Senjo. You have reaction time.
A
little bit, right? But you have to contend with people like me and Fear who have been playing games longer. And so we have more lessons that we forgot than you. It doesn't necessarily mean we're better. It just means we have experience to draw on, that if we are paying attention to our own past and our own experience, we should be able to outplay you. Unfortunately, it's hard to, think 18 moves ahead in Tarkov when there's 800 things going on. But when it comes to chess, obviously there's an experience for skill gap. But when we're talking about shooters, we don't really ever talk about the experience for skill gap often. So how do you, as a young player and a content creator, kind of approach all of that without overloading? Or do you not even care about people being more experienced than you when you go up against them?
When I was playing, so to give context to this question, because I always include a story. I'm sorry.
I'll be sorry.
I used to play Counter-Strike, and CSGO 2014, like the golden age of CSGO IMO, and I was the sweatiest freaking tryhard you could ever think of. So I have brought that to my content creation. I know I have the ability to defeat the skill gap, because I know what it takes to get quote unquote better. I don't believe in getting good. I always want to be better than the person I'm playing. But now that I'm content creating, I realize now that I can't get getting salty is fine if that's your, if that's part of your content, sure. But I personally I knew what that life was like, getting mad that oh god, this guy beat me. Oh, he's not even that good, man. And that's what was playing through my head.
Yeah.
But then now I'm just kind of in the middle. I don't necessarily care if someone has more experience than me, but I know that I'm gonna give you a hard hell of a time playing you. Not maybe not even due to my reaction time, just because I think I can pick up games and be relatively good quickly. I think my problem is I always struggle at the midway to get extremely good.
Okay. And I know, so with Fear, as you're the person who has instead, when we'll say you were at the crux of Senjo's time, did you, because you've chosen the competitive route to stay on that going into your experienced years, whereas I've chosen to go more I stepped away from the competitive. So I used to do competitive shit too around your age, Senjo, and then I kind of stepped away from that to go, I want to do more the PvE stuff, and I want to build events, and I want to do the memes and now the video editing. So I'm curious with you, Fear, how you rationalize that in the experience for skill debate then. So because now you have the experience, but obviously your reaction times are going to go down as you get older, but you also do the things Senjo says he doesn't want to do, because you do AIM Labs training, and I don't know if you do anything else, but do you? I haven't done AIM Labs training in so long.
I scores 117,000
on what?
117K. Just the loser grid shot. Everyone does grid shot.
So I do chimpanzee tests, the human benchmark tests, where we
but I should know, I do AIM Labs for fun. I think it's just fun. I hate that I think it's fun. Yeah.
I think it's fun too. I mean, let's see, how can I answer this? I mean, the older I get, of course, my eyesight gets worse, my reaction time gets worse. So yeah, you do those things to kind of keep in shape, so to speak, right? And it just is quite enjoyable. But if I know that I'm going against little crack-toes Timmy over here, who's pushing on everything, I just have to, I don't know. I've noticed that when I play with the younger kids, they don't have patience, right? And I guess that's an old person thing. Patience is kind of the decision maker in a lot of these situations. But I guess if my reaction time gets lower, and my eyesight gets worse, and my back starts hurting more, and my everything's just worse, I just slow down and I just learn, and I try to learn more and try to outsmart the person, because if I have to be humble enough to know that I'm not going to win a 1v1. So I have to create a situation that's in my own benefit, and that's what I'm slowly trying to teach myself as time goes on. How can I slowly outsmart my opponent? Because this dude might just be better than me. I might be smarter. I don't need we're not going 10 rounds. We're going 1 round. You know what I mean? And he might win 9 out of 10, but I just need that one. And if I can create those opportunities all the time, then I come out on top all the time. That's why I look at it.
I think that's one of the problems I have with Tarkov is I'm one of those people that was really good with, I'm going to let you screw me over. Like, I'm really good in 3 matches, right? So if you're going to play against me 3 times, I'll let you beat the shit out of me the first time because I want to see, like, what do you got? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm going to push you and test you, but my first time fighting you is testing you. It's not trying to beat you. And then I'm going to wipe the floor with you the next 2 times. That was always kind of my goal. And well, I guess to bring it back, so you've been playing since, if I remember correctly, when we talked about this, Fear, the 90s, late 90s, when you were growing up, shooters, or did you not get into them until like the?
I mean, I got into shooters, Halo 1 and Call of Duty 4. Those are like those are like the thing. The Call of Duty 4 is what like made me want to compete and stuff, and I like traveled around and did like MLG tournaments, but I didn't really have like an ecosystem of support around there. No one really cared that I did it, so I stopped. I just got a job, went to college, like just worked, and then I really came. Yeah, you know, so there. You know, so it's like it's just one of those things. So you come back years later, and I'm like, I know how to do certain things really well now. I know what I really hate. I'm a lot older, a lot wiser. How can I combine everything and into one kind of unit that makes me really happy? And I'm sitting here talking to you guys about it now. So
couldn't have gone that bad. So
yeah, I tried to jump into a little competitive too, but it was just because you're younger and or like, well, I was younger, so like it's really hard to say like, hey, can you take me to this LAN?
Yeah, it wasn't like that back then. You know, no one understood it. I didn't know what Twitch was. Literally, I didn't know about Twitch until like 2017. You know what I mean? Like, so like I knew about YouTube and I uploaded YouTube videos, but like, yeah, it was like, you can I have $500 to fly out to Dallas, Texas to compete in $100,000 tournament? Like, what? Are you selling drugs? Like, that's like, the reaction the parents are gonna give you. So it's now it's so different, dude.
So yeah, you have like avenues to.
Now you tell your parents, I want to be a fucking professional gamer. They're like, all right, how much money is a computer?
Right. Yeah, because
it's different, dude. It's a different time to fucking be born.
Well, there's an investment in it. Oh no!
Go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say, well, there's an investment in it, and I think one of the hard things with me getting older is I never realized how much, like, just diet and exercise, making sure, like, doing those things makes you a better gamer. If you don't diet and exercise right, and you're sitting there like, why am I getting my ass kicked? Have you gone for a walk today? Done a squat, a push up? Did you drink water?
Yep.
You go do those things, and it's
not wrong.
Dude, it keeps you young, man. The strength training keeps you young. You look at people like Joe. I mean, Joe Rogan takes fucking growth hormones, but like you look at these guys and they're like in their 50s and they're like in their peak athletic male form. You know what I mean? Because they work out every single day for years. And you don't have to be like that, but I mean, like just lifting a couple heavy weights, eating right, taking care of your mind and your body.
That's what
it all adds up, especially if you just want to play video games. It does add up because that's your mental. You know what I mean?
Because I used to be a Boy Scout and a hunter and a firefighter, and then I got injured and I kind of like took a desk job and let myself get away, and then I was my most unhealthiest 2.5 years ago, and I've dropped up to this point now 165 pounds since then.
You dropped? Congratulations!
Yeah, and thank you, and it's nice. Oh my god, it is.
Feel great.
It's insane how much better I am at gaming because I lost the weight. And if I ever need another fat gamer and they complain about gaming, I've kind of been having conversations with them like, well, how much do you exercise? Yeah. Well, I don't. I'm like, well, maybe, you know what? You like gaming? Yeah, get a standing desk. I know it's an investment. It's a great investment because what I did, I got a standing desk. I squat every time I die.
Dude, there's this girl that I know. She does like the 10,000 steps every day, but she has like those little tiny treadmills. She keeps under her desk when she's like doing her graphic design work. It's like a little baby treadmill and you walk on it. It's only for walking.
It's funny how many, if you start studying, and I don't study it too much because I don't look at myself as ever getting to this level of career advancement. I don't ever really want it. But like if you look at very successful CEOs, they're constantly walking and moving when they're at a desk. They have those treadmills like you're talking about on your desk, or they have exercise balls. It's constantly about keeping their mind in the right mode. And it's something I never took seriously right when I started getting into streaming. I never took like maybe a week or two. Like if I could go back and do because I did a sprint in streaming where we've talked about it, but I did a sprint in streaming, and if I could have went back and did anything different with the experience now, it would have been taking the first 2 weeks to not stream, not upload content, not do anything like that, and just sit down and write out like, what do I want out of this? How do I do it? Like, how do I, like, because it's, I mean, I wrote like that stuff down, but it wasn't like you weren't writing down because you don't know what to write down. I think that's the biggest problem when you're like starting something new. I don't know what to even, I'm not thinking about the things like the corners of the room because I don't know how big the room is. I don't know how big content creation is. You don't know how big you can push it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I never thought about taking a minute to sit down and go like your setup, your physical setup and your schedule leading into a stream. It's one of my big things now is like before I started streaming again recently, and it's like the first 30 minutes before that, I'm not at the computer. I walk away, I go for a walk, go outside, stare at birds, play with a cat. I don't, anything. Anything.
Like a mental prep.
Yeah, anything. Well, not even a prep, just, yeah, like a mental prep, but just to be not relevant to video games at all.
Yeah.
So with that, like now that you guys have experienced content creation, you both stream. Do you do anything to prep for a stream? I would assume you do, but
yeah, I start punching the air.
Yeah.
No, you think I'm joking? I maybe put on like a favorite song, maybe do a little jig, dance around. Like I'm serious. I like that's just how I. That's like this. Like I'm going on stage, like for a play or something. Like I'm prepping myself in the mirror. Type beat.
I 100% with you. There's
cool.
There's a speech to a music beat called "I Am a Champion." It's a pretty viral meme on YouTube. I don't know if you've ever seen it. You should. It's this high school football coach that just gives this badass speech about how you can be a champion. There's no such thing as losing. Just go out there and try it. Like basically just go out there and do actions. Effectively is the speech, and I kind of sit there and I say it to myself and get ready for stream because it just centers you for us. It's something to center. I did a Mosin speech for a while. Like I would talk about my Mosin Nagant on stream, and it was kind of cool and in Tarkov theme, but it also didn't really help me. People found it entertaining, but it wasn't like it didn't actually center you. And so that's always been something. But Fear, what do you do to get ready?
New Year's resolution definitely work out more, but wake up, stretch, work out, do aim labs, make some coffee, and then hop on. That's it.
Caffeine's one that's weird. I get too hyper on caffeine when I stream.
I
get tired sitting down.
I'm a soda runs through my blood.
Yeah, I drink a lot of caffeine just because I sit here, I yawn a lot, dude. I get tired.
What? All right, is it Mountain Dew, Senjo? Because if it's not Mountain Dew, I'm gonna question your gamer credentials. What's your soda?
It's Pepsi, man.
Pepsi, dude. Where are you from, Senjo?
California.
What part?
Oh,
SoCal.
SoCal. Okay. What? LA? San Diego?
I don't want to get too exact, but yes, in the area, yeah.
Okay. I used to live in San Diego.
That is, wow, we are very far. You're just hot and sunny, and I'm fucking warm and miserable.
Oh, you think it's hot and sunny right now? That's a cap.
It's hot. I guarantee it'll be hot and sunny compared to wherever I am, because we hold something called the Golden Snow Globe. We trade it with about 5 other cities in the area for the most snowfall in the United States each year. So I'm around the Great Lakes up in the Northeast. Very, very, very fun cold times. It's funny. It's warm and SoCal.
Yeah, that was my culture shock because I took a trip to Chicago a long time ago, and yeah, the average temperature was much lower. It was a little culture culture shock's probably not the right word, but yeah, just I didn't wear much warmer. Luckily, it was decent weather, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Kinda, I think.
Oh, I just realized my mic was there's a big Air Force base out in I think it was Santa Barbara. My brother was stationed out in California for a little bit in an Air Force base. I think it was around Santa Barbara. Like he was just straight, like just right there with all those people, and it was very.
Yeah, I used to live next to Coronado base.
I think it was Coronado. It was an instructor school. It wasn't like a full on base because it was
Okay.
But it's California is one of those kind of states that I don't want to talk about that because that'll get political real quick. We'll avoid that.
Just say it's very pretty and they have pretty beaches.
It's a very pretty state. I wouldn't mind seeing some of the forests. I don't ever want to go close to any of the cities. I don't ever want to be close to any city in real life ever, personally.
Dude, actually, I think it's called like Jericho. Is it called Jericho? Someplace. It's like out in the forest, kind of like a northeast-ish of like San Diego. It was beautiful, man. Just mountains. Like, I think we went to the fall, so it was like really folly, but dude, it was fucking. He went to like this small little town, got these crazy pies that they sold out there. They were like really known for their pies. But dude, yeah, it was beautiful, man. I mean, I'm born in New York. I grew up in Florida, so everything's so flat. It's just flat, dude. It's like a pancake out here.
New York, Florida, California. I mean, all you need is Ohio and Texas, and you'll have the horrible states trifecta accomplish.
So just seeing the curves, you know what I mean? It's just I used to wake up and just look outside. I could see Mexico and I could see fucking the mountains. I'm like, dude, this is crazy. What a place. What a place to live, dude.
Did you ever drive a motorcycle or no?
Every day of my life.
Every day. Oh, okay, awesome. So I had a Shadow V-Twin 1100. That was one of the few things I ever wanted to ride out.
Shadow. I have a V-Star.
Ooh. Yeah, I wanted to take that out to California. I never got it too far out west, but I loved that thing on like just snaking.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, so SoCal, from my understanding, part of it's desert, part of it's city. I don't want to go too specific into this. I'm not trying to like go that route with it. But did you guys grow up urban or did you grow rural or suburbs? Kinda, because I can go with the reason I'm asking this, but
I mean, I grew up in the suburbs of Florida.
Okay.
And then I also lived in like the beach of Cali.
I grew up in the swamps of
rural boy.
Tipping. Yeah, pretty much.
Alligator pushing, alligator wrestling.
Mm-hmm. But northern swamps, so they freeze in the winter.
Oh
yeah.
Swamps are actually aren't they super clean?
Yeah, they're super clean and they're full of a lot of things that want to murder you, including otters. Yeah. But
really, otters are like that?
Yeah, they'll screw you up if they think you're screwing with them.
Yeah, I fell into a swamp once. It tasted like metal, but apparently I was like, damn, these are apparently like super clean because of all the algae.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. Wouldn't think that because they smell.
A little bit. Yeah, it's an acquired smell. Senjo, rural, urban, suburbs.
I guess it's suburbs born, but when you're close to LA, it's all a blur.
I get what you're saying.
It's all blur. It just I get like I'm not particularly in the big city, but it's very easy to go there. It's not very far. So,
yeah.
So I guess suburbs. Yeah.
So when I've played Tarkov and other like we'll say simulation games where you have a lot of Arma's a good example of this, squad to a point, but you have a map so you can always pull it up. Like when you're playing in a game without a map or a UI, it's funny when I play with people that have never been in the country or anything like that. They don't like playing woods or shoreline because they feel very uncomfortable on the map in game. And it's
really,
I kind of get that on streets a little bit, but because I worked in cities, like to me, it's irrelevant. But do you guys get any kind of like, because you grew up more suburbs, do you guys get any kind of like feeling when you're in more open field type games? Like, does it do anything to you or no?
I'm completely like separate from like real life to game when it comes to learning like maps, because this comes from my Counter-Strike. A lot of like where my gamer skill comes from Counter-Strike. In Counter-Strike, you have to just know the callouts. There's nothing helps you. The mini map won't help you. You have to just know exactly what the place looks like in your head before you even see it.
Right.
So learning maps for me in games is extremely easy. It's a little toot my horn here, but once I instantly know where the landmark in my head is, I know exactly how to maneuver through the map. I mean, it's probably not that impressive, but I learned streets probably the second day.
No, that's I can tell you that's impressive. So like, do you find yourself getting lost in real life at all?
I don't know street names. I only know things via
Like landmark.
Via landmarks.
I'm the same way.
But even if the building gets torn down, I know that the plot is still there because you're not going to get rid of the land. So that still is part of the landmark for me, is like the literal just bare piece of land.
Yeah. It's like the crooked tree. Make a left there, and then drive down to 4 blocks. Make a right at the house that was on fire. You know, it's like
yeah, exactly.
Do you think that skill is something that you picked up in real life and translated to games, or picked up in games, and do you think you could translate it to real life?
Wow, that's hard to say. Actually, that's really. I never thought about it.
Because I can segue. I learn land navigation in real life, and so when I go to like play a video game, I already know how to land nav and draw my own map because I have that skill that I was trained to do. So to me, it comes easy, but it comes easy because I had training to do it. That's why I'm just curious if you had a background that pulled yours in somewhere, or if it's just something you feel you naturally do.
I think it's just something I naturally do. Like I once I've like, at least in games, once I've been into the room at least two to 5 times, I know exactly where every little piece is. Not exactly, that's too exact, but I know like a box is right here. So the guy could be behind the box, and it's just like a memory thing. I guess I'm just really good at like remembering spots, and that's always how it's been for me. Really.
Yeah, it's the same way I am with map or with doing mapping. And then it's funny enough with memeing and editing. Are you the same way with that, where it's like when you're watching back a video and you want to put something on it, like because you put the anime memes on your stuff a lot? Are you in the moment immediately it pops in your head and you're visualizing? You're like in the same way, like a guy could be on there. You know exactly what anime fits with this, or are you struggling and like sifting through anime clips and gifs?
So I'm not actually as much of a memer as my content would like to believe. I'm like not very meme cultured. So what I do is I literally type what I'm looking for. Half the anime that I put on the screen is I'd never seen it. Never watched a single, not a single cent or not a single minute was spent on it. So I'm just looking for like anime guy running GIF. That's what I type in the image. That's what I type on Google search. And if I think it's funny enough, then I take it.
Oh, you use Google search. That's interesting. All right. But yeah, I kind of do the same thing for a lot of where it's like I'm just drawing a blank, but I need a man running in a green screen. I don't care who the man is running because I'm going to look at 18 different men running in green screens. I just need a man in front of a green screen running. And I get the same. I get it. Fear, do you ever search for that kind of stuff? Because you don't meme, but you obviously clip. Do you ever impose? I've watched a few of your clips, so I know you did like the lo-fi stuff, but you don't really ever impose or meme stuff ever. Is that something you ever tried to do for content? Like add in like viral sounds and stuff, I guess?
Yeah, but I don't know. It doesn't. I see how it is enjoyable, but it doesn't. I don't find it as enjoyable, so I don't like stick it into my stuff.
Yeah, it's the
true.
Does that make I don't know. You said true. Yeah, I like if you find it funny kind of deal, and you enjoy it and it makes you happy, and you can laugh at it. Then I mean, all it means, and like triple down on that. But when I'm making it, I'm like, if it makes me laugh, or I think of something like like an anime meme or just a meme that's funny and I'm laughing and it made me laugh really hard, I'll add it for sure. But I don't go out of my way to search for it. I'm not saying that that's a bad way to do it at all, but that's just the way that I do it.
Well, that's why we have great. So that's the good thing about, I think, YouTube and content creation is because we all want to do things different, and like we all did things the same. I hate the formula channels, the channels that. What's a good way? So I have a few editor friends. These are people who kind of like you were talking about, Senjo, where it's somebody will pay an editor to edit their stream, which works if it's a fan of you that is editing you, because then they kind of have passion and they care about it. And even if there's like profit sharing, but then there's these people that edit stuff, like they're editing for streamers. And I don't want to disparage anybody. I don't want to drag anything through the mud, but
it's generic.
Yeah, it's very generic and formulaic. And I understand it works. I understand it gets views. But to me, it's like making a video on YouTube to it'd be like subtitling a TV show and uploading it as a short. I don't hate on the people that do it. I actually appreciate it because sometimes I like to see a clip of a TV show I've watched. And I'm very appreciative that they've uploaded it so I can download it to use, 5 seconds of as a meme. But I would never upload that content. So in the same way, I would never upload the competitive stuff like you're doing. But I'm super appreciative someone does it because
it's I think let me see if I can. I feel like in a medium where there's a lot of artistic freedom, you side on the more of being more towards that artistic freedom, where you look at people who are very systematic and they take the clip of a show, they subtitle it, and that's their entire channel.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is a revenue making machine, but there's no creativity behind it. The creativity was already created with the show. You're just the middleman trying to insert your affiliate link. And again, there's nothing wrong with that because people make thousands of dollars a month doing that. But you don't side with that. That doesn't tickle your pickle, so to speak, right?
Mm-hmm. That's been. Now I know you don't do editing, but do you guys have anybody in your? I have 2 more questions I think to end the podcast with. So number 1, do you guys have anybody in your life that you would? I know you're less the editing route Fear, but you still have the tools to effectively do an edit. Would you ever find yourself if, let's say, a family member or a close friend, I don't know, well, I know you're in a relationship, Fear, I think, and I also am, but like if your significant other came to you and was like, hey, I want to open an Etsy store, would you ever consider starting a second channel? Like, because it'd be really easy to edit and do that kind of stuff and do an affiliate link. Would you ever consider doing that stuff for him?
Actually, yeah. Like a couple months ago, I was thinking about just doing it.
Senjo?
So basically just help them out with like promoting them is what you're asking?
Well, not promoting them. Basically, would you ever do the editing side for them effectively and be like, hey, listen, I've already learned YouTube. Would you share what you know? How much?
100%. Oh, what did we share? What we 100%.
Yeah.
To someone I cared about, like me and Senjo were fucking the homies, and he's like, bro, you're better editing than me, but I'm like, I got you.
Well, it's not just sharing what, but like, I guess it's because it's a lot to unpack YouTube and uploading and affiliate linking and all that stuff.
If I'm not actively working on my own channel, then for sure, of course. But I already struggle to edit for myself, so it's a little.
A perfect world.
That's just a lot. That's just a lot to stack on.
Is it something you see like in the future when you get better at editing and faster at it that you would ever?
See, my issue is I've been editing since the COD Modern Warfare 2. I use the little Dazzle DVC 100 and see nostalgia. And then I moved on to the HD PVR. And I've been editing for so long that I've decided, like, I just don't like it. I mean, I do it. I have to. You have to do it if you don't have anyone else to do it. But if you don't have, I believe that you need an ounce of passion, just a little bit. A little bit of passion needs to push you to the next level, and I just don't have that passion. I will get to a certain level where I'll be very satisfied, but I'm never gonna get to like maybe like your level, Rec, or like any other person who really likes editing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I'm doing the bare minimum because I think if you're not putting enough effort, no one's gonna like anything you do. But I can't reach that next echelon. So that's why a lot of my stuff starts with the recording process. Like I just make sure that the base of it is as good as it could potentially be. And the editing just hopefully adds a little bit of spice.
That was that was the hardest thing to figure out, is getting a good clean recording to edit on. And it still is. It's one of my problems with streaming. And by the way, I guess I never really talked about this, but the reason I switched to YouTube for streaming is because they do not delete my VODs. I can just simply unlist them. So if it takes me a year to edit a stream, but it has something really good in it that I know will work a year later, I want to be able to access it. On Twitch, you have 10 days to put it on your own personal cloud storage. And I know that might change at some point in the future with YouTube because they can't just do unlimited storage in infinite. It's something's gonna break at some point. But
you don't stream and record at the same time?
I do. No, what I'm saying is I keep the recording on YouTube, so I'll just rip it off there. I'm doing it that way because I don't actually use my streams right now to make content. My streams are more hangout streams anyways. So for me, most of my content comes from me hitting shadow play right now because I find it to be more, because then I just go, I don't want to say I go play the game, but effectively I play the game. I have content in mind, but I know that the way I tell my stories and the way I tell my enjoyment is going to be on the editing table anyways. So as long as I have a clean cut and I've done all that stuff well, I'm going to decide what to do with it when I'm editing. And then it's like, if you ever talk to a baker, how they'll bake a cake and then destroy that cake to make something else, but they had to go through the whole process of baking a cake first. I will make an entire video before cutting it up and then relayering it effectively. Which is fun for me, but I understand it's also very tedious for most people. So,
yeah, no, I think I always record and stream just so I have the high quality footage.
Same.
The only reason my rig can't handle it. That's why.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, if that's that's why I have a second PC because playing Tarkov and recording and streaming, the PC's fucking starts screaming.
I have another computer that is about 3/4 built. It needs the one thing that I've been hesitant to buy because I'm like, if I'm gonna buy one, I'm just gonna wait to buy a good one that I'll put in my rig and then put this one in there. I need a GPU, and those have been so fluctuating in prices.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, I got the money for one. Oh, they're up 200%. Let's hold off. So,
no, I get it, man. Dude, Dr. Lupa has 3 PCs. Oof. He has a recording one specifically, a gaming one, and a streaming one.
Yeah,
talk about top of the line setup.
Yeah, it's on the list. He's a hell of a creator. All right, so last question before we kind of go into, because we're coming up on 90 minutes here. What do you guys look at as the hope for the future of the tactical genre? Because Tarkov is what reinvigorated me for hope that this genre actually has some hope outside of the large scale side. So like the squad, battlefield, like that stuff's always going to be around for tactical shooters, but the small scale stuff outside of competitive anyway, like full on competitive, like CSGO, you know, it's fun, but you know, I'm not waiting for the next Counter-Strike. Tarkov was its own thing. So is there any where do you guys see and what is your hope for the future? Like beyond Tarkov, I guess.
What do you think, Senjo?
I guess if we're considering Counter-Strike a tac shooter, because I don't really know what, everyone has their own quantifications for things.
True. Well, what do we quantify a tac shooter first, right? Because I see like CS:GO is like a competitive shooter. I don't know, but it has tactical elements. Would you consider a tactical shooter?
Hell yeah, you have to know how to throw these smokes and you have to know the pixel of the cloud. It's pretty freaking tactical, but it's not it's not realistic. Yeah,
well, so that's when I define tactical, it is specifically about slowing down gameplay for you to actually think methodically. And I think Counter-Strike, while you might not think of it as tactical, that's because after you play it for about 100 hours, you go, oh god, I forget the call outs. You don't walk down alley right at the not alley. Oh god. It's been so goddamn long. Anyways,
mid on dust too.
Yeah, there's certain things you just learn you can't do. It's like in chess, there's certain opening moves you just don't do unless you are that good of a player that you're gonna lose somebody, or this is a feint, and it's basically banking on the people to do the feint, or take the feint.
Okay, so we have an idea of what a tactical shooter is.
Yeah, so just basically something you gotta slow down and don't need to rehash.
Right, so Senjo, what do you think the future of that? What do you hope for?
Okay. So I'm just gonna use Tarkov as my base for a tac shooter because I came in when what really attracted me to the game, which is a little anti, I feel like what Rec is. I was attracted to the game, seeing the zero recoil, everyone sprinting hella fast, jumping around, doing things like just breaking the game, right?
Okay.
They like you definitely not supposed to play Tarkov that way, but they did it anyways.
Right.
Because I view games as I view games just in general. Like you have the canvas that some dev gave you,
Mhm.
and you should as a player I wouldn't say try not to play in that canvas, but you should push it to its limits. And that's what they did, and that's why I was so excited to play Tarkov so long ago when I first started. I don't hate the game now. I actively have adapted to play a lot slower because of inertia, blah blah blah, all this stuff.
Mhm.
But even with the inertia, I still try to push it to its limits, because that's just I just view games as like not. I don't get very immersed in the play style of games. I just like to play the game.
Right.
I see a game as a game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
So-
fair.
if that makes sense.
No, yeah, 100%. Yeah. The idea of you liking to break it is because you like to push it to the edge.
Have you ever? So I know you've played Call of Duty and stuff. Like, so with Call of Duty, was it not Warzone? The what's the big match where it's like kind of like Battlefield, like 20 on 20? Ground War. Thank you. So like there's a lot of coordination in that. Have you ever played with people in that where they're getting into the comm side of it at least? Maybe they're not like you're not actively playing soldier, right? Like that's not in your mind, but you have to communicate effectively with your team. Like, do you ever?
When I played Ground War in 2009, 2010, I only played Ground War to farm nukes. I did not if they were common to me, I could not care less. But then again, I was younger and I was a little crack kid using probably the silenced ump, marathon stopping power, Ninja Pro, and I was just only there to like do the coolest thing that the game had to offer, which was the nuke.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what those games only give you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So I've never played Squad, for example. I've wanted to DayZ may not be considered tactical per se.
It's a tactical shooter. Yeah.
But I wanted to play DayZ for the survival aspect, because there was a hot like 2 to 3 years where like DayZ was like the game everyone wanted to play.
still
And
awesome
then
game.
unfortunately, I didn't have a good enough PC, so I went to DayZ Lite, which was H1Z1.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I feel my friend bullied me into playing H1Z1 so much that he bought the game for me.
It was such a fun game.
It was
Survival H1Z1 was fun. I agree.
It was fun if you had a clan that was willing to have people on 24/7. If you were on a server that also had people that were willing to be on 24/7, because it created some very interesting environments. I still think the whole survival genre, though, it had the same issue. Like, if you guys remember World War II first-person shooters, like in the early 2000s, like everybody made one. And so the survival genre, everybody made one, and there wasn't enough different in each one to really, it was all just weird flavor and minor UI, like a lot of UI issues in those games for me. But DayZ especially, even currently, I'm getting ready to hardcore push into DayZ, and it's that UI.
Like,
oof.
Where do you in the next few years, like where do you guys hope to see like the tactical shooter genre? Because I mean, like for instance, like the base, like use Tarkov as a base, right? What's if there was a game that was like Tarkov, that was just all the bugs were gone and it was an open world?
To
you know
me,
what I mean?
To me, that game already exists, not without the bugs, but it's called Arma.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
it's Tarkov. It's not Arma. It's Tarkov. It's Tarkov.
No, I get what you mean.
An open world. You know what I mean? Or like an insane world of like cyberpunk, but it's like multi. Just what do you guys think? What do you hope for? What do you look forward to play?
So as we're getting closer to the future, one of the things that we're having happen a lot is AI generation, specifically with AI generated art. And I think video games are going to get better because we're not going to have to rely on. I feel bad because what I'm going to say is we're going to be able to outsource artists effectively to make very easy assets to AI. And what that'll allow to do is game developers who don't have the budget to pay artists, which is arguably probably one of the biggest budgets in game development is art design. Just in pure terms of time commitment, probably right up there with engine design and server fees. But I'm very curious to see when we have game developers, right now, we have game developers building games who don't know how to code, but we have logic programs that build the code for them and they just drag and drop modules. So eventually we're going to have art in the same way, where like with video editing, we have tools that do our stuff. We're not splicing it together with footage in a film room anymore. That's what, and you know, we're not imposing it with fillers and stuff. That's what they used to have to do. And drawing straight on the film. Like we don't do anything like that anymore. You know, we're using this fancy program that, you know, auto transcribes my captions in 30 seconds. So I think with gaming, like the development side, we're going to see a genre, like we're already experiencing it. We're experiencing the first wave of gamers making fully developed games, right? Because you got Squad, you got Hell Let Loose, you got Tarkov is a great example. You got Star Citizen, and you got why am I blanking on the name? Ashes of Creation. I know it's not a tactical game, but Ashes of Creation, right? Like these are games being made by people who want to make games, not people who want to make money making games. Kind of like what we were talking about earlier with like we could crap out videos, right, and make money of just subtitling TV shows, but it's not our passion. So like that's my whole point. My future, my hope for the future is game development's we're going to see some really crazy rules, I hope, and we're going to see a lot of clones, but we're going to see a lot of, I think, some very unique takes. Like I'm very interested in Dr. Disrespect Shooter Dead. Oh, I'm blanking on the name now. I usually hold off on caring about names until the game's actually close to release. Or Dead Drop, thank you. Looks like it could have some potential. Looks like they're trying to go after Tarkov and Marauders, but in a more PvP centric way and screw the PvE, which honestly might be fun because sometimes I want to shoot people in Tarkov, but I feel so bad. That's
going to be for.
Yeah, I hope Arena's good.
All right.
Yeah, I'm hoping for Arena because that's my competitive itch.
Yeah.
I still have it. It's not gone.
I'm hyper competitive, but sometimes I just want to chill, shoot AI. And most of the time, I just want to shoot a player in the face. I want him to get off work, come into the lobby, and I want to punch him in the throat. Like,
but I heard
come on, Dad,
bring your stash in.
I don't know how
it's a little weird.
I don't know how it's gonna work. Yeah.
I wish they did it like Halo Reach, where they just give you kits.
Yeah, I'm very confused with the whole everything they've said about Arena has just made me more confused every time they open their mouths.
Yeah, they show like snapshots and there's like pre-built kits, but I don't know if those kits are coming from your stash. Like, I don't understand how it works because people aren't going to have the stash if they're only having Arena. So I don't know.
Well, and then there's multiple modes because now we're getting like, he's like, we're going to have wave defense and capture the flag. And I'm like, oh, can we just get the thing first?
2v2, 5v5. Like, it's weird.
Crap, man. Just put a 1v1, 2v2, and 5v5 in right now. Like, that's all you got to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to hit Tarkov with an ending jab, but they definitely don't focus the freaking essentials first. Like, the frames of the game are mid, to say the least. Like, you know, the rubber band on streets.
Yeah.
Like I just wish Tark would focus more on the bare essentials of a video game before pushing all the cool stuff. I like the cool stuff, but I can't play the cool stuff.
I can't. I can't.
Well,
I get it, dude.
I think they are, but I think they're a little bit. It's like one of those things, like $1 short, $1 late, whatever that saying is, because they're finally getting around to fixing the audio engine by just replacing the audio engine. But if you leave binaural on right now, well, at least I do, and I've had a few other people test it, it's about a 10 frame difference on mid to low end rigs with binaural on.
Dude, I had binaural on. I was getting 10 frames on the interchange.
Yeah, I turned it off immediately. Number one, I can.
Like so 70, 80.
There's some things I'm not picking up and hearing now, but at least when I hear people, I can hear where they are. And this is why I loved my brother's headset. I'm not trying to. His with binaural on, I don't have the audio issue that I do with my clouds where I can't tell where people are. Even though this is a 7.1 headset, I still can't. Or maybe it's an 8.1. I don't know. Anyways, like I can't tell where people are compared to where I used to. And I used to be such an audio player. I don't know if that's screwed you guys up.
You use surround sound.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I sorry. Counter-Strike trained me in stereo, so I just stick to stereo for everything.
Yeah, I'm trained in stereo, but I would like to get into surround sound. Changing up really quick.
Go ahead.
What is your guilty pleasure game, if you were to pick one? Like, you play Tarkov, make content on Tarkov, but what's something that's like, you play off stream, and you don't really, you might get really hype about, but you'll talk about it to nobody. It's just something you like to play before you go to bed.
Oh, that kind. Okay, I was thinking like favorite game of all.
Oh
time.
yeah, for sure.
Like whatever your favorite game is that you might not want to talk. Like I like League of Legends and worked a second job to specifically pay for Riot points at a certain point in my life.
My favorite game. The only reason I don't talk about my favorite game is because it's absolutely obscure, and it's okay if you don't react. It's called Shenmue.
What's this?
Shenmue.
It is a game. It's a single player story game. I love single player games.
Okay.
It originally came out on the Dreamcast, and it's about this young high school kid who his dad is murdered by this martial artist who comes there for this like artifact. I'm being really vague just to like.
Is this the sequel to Shinobi?
No.
Okay.
What was it called?
Shenmue.
Shenmue. SHENMUE. And it's just this like really cool story. I grew up playing. It's kind of crazy that the young little kid grew up playing this game, and he basically goes on a quest for revenge. He's trying to look for this guy, and the reason why I like the game so much is because, for one, it's the birthplace of QTEs. This game created all QTEs that you see in any game.
I gotta be very honest. I don't know what that acronym was. What's QTE?
Quick time event. It's
okay.
Like with the gym.
Yep.
That's a quick.
Dude, yes, I remember all this now.
Yeah.
This game looks
flooding, dude.
This looks like a Bushido Blade ripoff. My God, but
the beauty of this game was it was an RPG beyond RPG. You could literally enter and interact with every building. It might not have had anything in the rooms, but almost every single room was interactable. So it was like real life. They made the first game, I think maybe the first or two games, on a huge net loss because of all that. It was crazy. Like and for me as a kid, playing it, I didn't really understand how intricate it was. I just liked the fighting, because another thing that happens in the game is you'll have these encounters where it plays like, I don't know if you played this fighting game, but it plays like Virtua Fighter, another old, super dumb old fighting game, but it uses that engine. So the fights in the game were really fun because I was just mashing as a kid, but now I know I can do the intricacies and do the really cool moves, and it's just my favorite game of all time. Like, it's so obscure, and it's just, that's, guilty pleasure type beat. Like, no one knows it. It's mine.
Did you ever play Gauntlet on you played this on the GameCube or the Dreamcast?
I played this on the Dreamcast at first.
I don't think I'm trying to think if I ever played a Dreamcast outside of, I played a 007 game on Dreamcast, I think. No.
What about you, Rick?
Guilty pleasure?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's League of Legends.
League of Legends?
It's League of Legends. I dumped, I worked a second job at Subway specifically so I could cover the roughly $2,500 I spent into League of Legends. It is a heavy, which is equivalent to putting like 2,500 because you guys are big into Fortnite.
It's okay, man. I'm minus 1K on League 2.
There were so many days, and it's so shitty what it is because of it. So what would happen is I'd be playing with people and they'd be like, wow, I really like this champion. I'm like, you like that champion? I'm like, yeah. Like, all right, I'm going to buy their elite skin and play them better next match then. And so I would buy their legendary skin, which is $20, and then play better than that person. It was a toxic thing to do. Yeah. But I was younger. And I had that competitive gene, and I yelled a lot, and I got rid of it because I don't want to say I got rid of it. I repurposed it. It's still there. Like, I stay a little bit toxic, because I pull it out for the memes. Well, you know what? When we were playing the other day, I'm so happy I got to do that for you. I did the audio bait, Senjo, in Tarkov. So where you're in a fight with somebody, and you just double tap F1. So they look at the person audio baiting, and then the other person has a clear shot.
That worked. I forgot about that. I have to clip that. That's huge.
Scav? Because I feel like
it was a PMC.
No PMCs on PMC.
Wow.
Yeah,
we're on woods.
I feel like no one would fall for that if you weren't a scav. That's crazy.
Dude.
No,
too much.
All the time. They just deer in headlights.
He was running up the hill, equipped, and he just stopped and stood still and looked up, and I was like, no way. This can't be real. But yeah. My guilty pleasure is City Skylines.
Oh, I'll send you a video after this podcast. Fear. I made a YouTube video of a City Skylines.
Dude, I love making cities. I love. Yeah, I mean, it's always. I love fucking seeing the traffic flow, dude. I don't know what it is. I gotta make decongest the traffic. I used to spend so long, dude.
Oh no, dude. That's why it pissed me off. I hate seeing red on my traffic thing, and I couldn't finish. Oh my god, man! I couldn't explain it.
There's a guy on YouTube called City Planner Plays, and he's a legitimate city planner, and he makes the most gorgeous fucking cities I've ever seen, dude.
And he talks about it in such a great way. That's what I was going to bring up. That's one of the things I loved most was City Skylines and Planet Zoo had a bunch of people that build cities in real life and build zoos in real life actually play those games because of the amount of customizability they put into them. And it makes me so happy. That's the other thing. I love simulation games because it's like Factorio. If I watch anybody playing Factorio, I know in their heart they are somebody that should be in some way building circuit boards, working on switches, routers, servers. Just go talk to machines. You are really good at building and completing circuits. You will have fun. Go do that. If you can play Factorio well, you can make it's one of those games that like you are literally learning to build a circuit. There's Minecraft does it now. Roblox does it too. It's these kids are going to be so scary when they grow up. They have access to such tools that I never even dreamed of when I was younger. Oh my god.
So we got I've seen Factorio. It looks pretty nutty, but we have Shenmue, League, and City Skylines, man. That's awesome, dude.
What a trio.
What a trio here.
What?
And we all play Tarkov. Crazy.
So last thing I want to, I guess I'm going to kick it over to Fear, but just because I'm curious. So you said Modern Warfare 2, but what was your first game that you played, like that you really remember playing viscerally?
Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune? Fear?
On the N64. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. No.
Are we running
yeah, go ahead. We have no time. Like we set it as 90. Honestly, if we upload a fucking 2-hour podcast, I don't think anybody's gonna be mad.
I don't remember exactly what age I was, but all I know is I was sitting next to my grandma playing she just put on the Wheel of Fortune, I guess, and then I can only remember just laughing like a kid. Like I don't know why I thought Wheel of Fortune was so goddamn funny, but it was freaking hilarious. So I just remember that very, very fondly, and like I did not become a fan of Wheel of Fortune when I grew up, but that is the very first game I remember playing, and it just spiraled down. Like I was like maybe like couldn't even hold the controller, maybe like 4 or 5. I don't know. So
baby,
your grandma was into Wheel of Fortune, not Tetris. It's crazy.
I guess so.
Tetris was big among old people for some odd reason. I have talked to multiple like 70, 80 plus year olds that they love Tetris. It is
old school, dude.
Yeah, because they understand it. Yeah, just stacking blocks. I mean, what could go wrong? It's fucking we're at Wheel of Fortune. What a weird game to get.
Yeah, see, I consider myself a gamer. I do not particularly. I mean, I like FPSs a lot, but I will play anything. Oh, the only games I not hate, but like I think I hate that I'm bad at them are RTSs. Try to play Halo Wars. Try to play StarCraft. I'm garbage. I hate it. It makes me so mad.
It's so much micromanaging. Like what's another game like that? It's kind of like that fucking like Rome Total War, the Total War series.
Oh,
I love those games. I'm so bad at the combat, man. Like I watch other people do. I'm like, fucking heck you. So many things going on.
I had a group of people want to play Shogun 2 Total War with me one day, and I'm like, guys, listen, I'm really good at RTSs. I don't like playing with people. It's like with people with chess, right? They just don't like playing people less than them because I'm like, you're gonna cry. I'm letting you know. I 1v4'd them.
Oh my god.
Yes. By the way, I only had a fourth of their units too.
Yeah, so like I can't. Like I see people just win insane battles, and I'm like, dude, I get lost in just watching like this one unit fight. Like, yeah.
I do the noob thing. I build my base for like
way too
30
long.
minutes.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, out of the fog of war, I'm dead.
And the whole army comes. Yeah, dude. It's like, yeah, I know. Same here.
There's a great RTS called Men of War where you have to manually manage everybody's inventory to probably the level of Tarkov inventory in my opinion, like for an RTS anyways. And you're controlling 100 soldiers, and you're also managing their vehicles inventories. And if they die, you can go loot their bodies and loot all the guns. You can change uniforms. And I would turn on a realism mod for this. So like that, you could actually shoot and see 100 meters with a rifle. And you could also, everybody would die in one shot, which when you're running like a squad based RTS, if your entire squad, like if just one machine gun spray and you lost the mission, and it's just, I love when it's that high stakes, which is, I don't want to get too deep into that weeds, but Fear, what is your, what's your first game you remember viscerally?
Sonic 1.
Sonic 1.
On the what is it, Dream? No, Genesis. Sega Genesis. Yeah.
What was Sonic 1? Oh crap. I think it was not till the second one they let you play as Tails. Sonic 1 was one player.
It's just Sonic. Yeah, Sonic.
And then Sonic 2 was Sonic and Tails Adventure or some crap. And then you got to play 2-person co-op. Oh my God. And then it could be competitive because who gets out first with Sonic and who gets out first with Tails? Let's find out who beats the level first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. The game I got into first was Wonder Wizard 3000.
Wonder Wizard 3000. What is that?
It had 3 games. It had handball, hockey. It's Pong. It's effectively Pong. It was plugged into an old CRT monitor, and it just
shit,
so great. My grandma had it, my grandpa had it, and they refused to ever let us play it in the wintertime. We were allowed to play in the summer. Just so contrary to me. It's like we're all stuck inside in the winter. It's like, well, we don't want to put heat on upstairs where the video games are.
That's funny.
And so our whole thing was like, I'll put a jacket on. I just want to play the video games.
All right. Oh my God.
Yeah. But all right. Well, Senjo, do you have anything you wanna shout out? Maybe shout out. Senjo has a YouTube channel. I don't know if you want to shout that out at all.
I hit you with a sub. Hit you with a subby.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, dude.
No, I'm not really. No, I don't. I wish I had like events planned or something. That'd be cool to shout out. But no, I'm just streaming. I try to stream at least 3 times a week. If you want to check it out, I'm like I'm like a middle of the pack kind of guy. I got the competitive edge, but I'm mostly just a goofy goober. So you want to check it out. And if that's your fancy, that's all. That's all I got to say.
And if you're lazy at searching and typing, you can always open the description below and find it there. And with that, Fear, you want to take us out?
Oh, Senjo, man. Thanks for hanging out, man. It's a pleasure to meet you.
No worries. Yeah, nice to meet you too, man.
Likewise, man. And guys, if you're just tuning in, if you watch this all the way to the end, man, make sure to hit that like button. Thank you so much. Catch you on the next one. Peace.